So the reason why I called my channel Nymphowars is because if I ever got to produce a porn parody of Infowars, which hopefully I will, that's what I would call it. With that in mind, I haven't had a chance to watch as much Alex Jones as I would like since he's been banned off YouTube, so I thought I would catch up with him. This clip is from his show on November 8th, 2018. So let's see what's going on over at Infowars.
Infowars. Tomorrow's news today.
Well, for 2 weeks, I have doubled the guards at the office and at my house. And I said, look for Antifa to start doxing prominent conservatives and Fox News personalities ahead of them launching their full armed assault on conservative and libertarian and nationalist leaders. And that will all be a prelude to the assassination of the president.
You know, the guys at Majority Report have pointed this out, but it's a really good point. And if you watch Alex Jones a lot, you'll notice this. He talks about Donald Trump being assassinated at least once a week, and that's a conservative estimate. He talks about it in this. He's almost like fond about it, like he wants it to happen, which makes a lot of sense because I think when Donald Trump was elected, I think probably in his head Alex Jones was going, "Ah, fuck. I've spent my entire life fighting against the government and telling you that every president is part of massive conspiracies, and now my best friend is the president now, and so I now have to become a government spokesman." And I think life would probably be easier for Alex Jones if Donald Trump were assassinated. I think he would find a way to make a lot of money off of that, and so it's. He tries preemptively to make a lot of money off of it all the time. He talks about it constantly, and it's no doubt it's a great way to drum up fear with his reptilian audience.
Let's just say I've got the Pentagon and other people's attention predicting all of this, but it's not hard
Oh God,
to
I
do.
hope that's
We
not
have the
true.
entire enemy battle plan, and I've been on the phone with leading individuals today, laying out exactly what move they're going to make next. I told people last night they're going to mobilize in every city Antifa terror squads who are only the decoys to probe defenses at people's homes, offices, and infrastructure.
Oh, okay. So what he's talking about is, if you remember this or if you heard of it, a bunch of protesters showed up at Tucker Carlson's house. Tucker Carlson is this god-awful Fox News anchor. If you don't know who he is, he's really one of the worst. But yeah, these protesters showed up at his house, and they really went too far with it. It was genuinely creepy. So, as usual, Alex Jones starts off by saying something true, but let's see how he'll veer off the path.
Then, once the targets have been basically lased in a low-tech fashion, then the real teams, MS-13, Hezbollah, and others that openly...
What? Hezbollah. See, there you go. This is the genius of Alex Jones. In 10 seconds, we've gone from something that really happened to now Hezbollah is going to show up at Tucker Carlson's house. Genius.
Are being used as a auxiliary army by the deep state here in the United States with plausible deniability can begin to hit targets. So maximum red alert, ladies and gentlemen, maximum red alert. They have foreign paramilitary teams. They have MS-13. They have Hezbollah inside the United States publicly working.
They have Hezbollah inside the United States. I have the documents. Okay, they're here on the table. I'm not going to show you the documents, but I have the documents. Hezbollah inside the United States. I think that someone might notice that if a unit of Hezbollah were just sort of wandering around in Cedar Springs, Alex.
With the Democrats, they have the professor class. That's the Antifa class. They are the group that, again, are just organizing the patsies at the lower level in case they ever lose or things fall apart. They have plausible deniability. I have all the total proof.
You're never going to get to see. We're going to get to the proof after we take a quick commercial break. We got to fund this operation, folks. We got the good turmeric. We got the good halogen. We got the good deep earth iodine. He always said, it's my favorite Alex Jones trip. I've got the proof. And he's always, if you've never watched Alex Jones, or not often, he always has like 50 papers laid out in front of him, like as though he's he's going through like a case file or a dozen case files and making connections. It's just a bunch of headlines printed out from all the newspapers of the world, and he'll show the headlines, but he never seems to cite any of the content of the articles. But it does make him look very credible, though. The more paper a person has in front of them, the more likely you are to listen to them, I think.
When we come back from break.
See? After I saw you some shit.
3 months ago that got me, quote, banned off Twitter. I said Antifa is preparing to come to your homes if you're in your ICE, if you're somebody like Tucker Carlson. Actually talked about Tucker Carlson in the 25-minute video. And I said, that's just first level. After that, you need to have your battle rifles ready to defend
and by battle rifles, I mean AR-15s.
Yourself, because that means the threat level goes way up, and it shows that the globalists have at least taken the safety off and put their finger on the trigger or the detonator to go to a hot war here in the United States. This is a maximum total red alert. Trump started getting rid of Sessions.
And that's when Hezbollah really got pissed. Hezbollah, big fans of Jeff Sessions. Well, actually, you know what? They probably have a lot in common politically. I think they probably have similar opinions about, say, gay people. God, Alex. See, this is where, like, you can't... I don't think Alex Jones should have been banned off of everything, but, like, when he says shit like this, you can see why someone would want to make the case that he really is inciting violence, because when you say, have your battle weapons ready, they've got their fingers on the trigger. You are telling a lot of unstable people to be ready to lock and load at any moment, and at anything that they perceive to be a threat, they should be ready to go to their guns first. And that's the fear-based message that Alex Jones is selling when he's not selling his fucking snake oil DNA pills.
Rid of the deep state double agents. He's got an acting attorney general in here that is a patriot, 100%. And it says he's ready to move against him, even in op-eds in USA Today. Acting AG says he would indict Hillary and many others.
Okay, so we've gone now from Hezbollah to Hillary. I guess the two, well, they both start with H, so that means they're basically the same thing. I'm suspicious of words that start with H, folks. God. See, this is the genius, is that Alex Jones is always able to tie like 5 or 6 different threads of conspiracy theory together. So it starts with the Antifa and with that event that really happened at Tucker Carlson's house. And then it's MS-13 is going to be next. And then Hezbollah. And then they're all connected to Hillary Clinton. And I'm sure at any moment he'll start talking about George Soros. And you see, all possible conspiracy theories lead to Alex Jones. He is the Rome of conspiracy theories. This is why I love him so much. Also because he's entertaining.
So they are now going to make their move, ladies and gentlemen. This is it. And you go to Infowars.com, 900 groups mobilized. And who mobilized them? The former Attorney General put out tweets and is quoted in MoveOn.org. Who's the main funder of that? You guessed it. George and Alexander Soros.
Oh, I called it. Well, okay, that's not much of a prediction because, again, now Alex Jones, he has to talk about George Soros once every 25 minutes or he has a heart attack.
Soros is beginning to fade a bit at 89, but it's now Alexander in command. And it's just incredible. We have secret documents that were, again, obtained earlier this year.
Wait, so again, like I mentioned at the beginning, Alex Jones made his whole name as someone who was fighting against the machine of big government and secret CIA conspiracies and all of that. His whole radio show was basically a grievance against what is now called the deep state. And now, when people are in the streets protesting the government, protesting the behavior of the president, now Alex Jones is against that. He's against the thing that he's been doing his entire life. How do you sleep at night? I know this is just about making money for you, Alex. This is just about selling deep earth iodine crystals, but fuck, man, like how do you look in the mirror and not see two of yourself,
That showed their previous battle plans to cause civil emergencies and martial law. Those plans in 2015 failed. But we have them. We have their blueprints. we have their battle plans, we would be completely and totally maniac level stupid, ladies and gentlemen, if we did not get this information out. Separately, you've got Ruth Bader Ginsburg falling down and breaking 3 ribs.
Wait, what does that have to do with anything?
You've got reports that the Pope in the Italian media is imminently about to resign. We have got the...
I've got someone off camera telling me I need to go to commercial. We got to fund this operation, folks. You need to go to InfoWarsLive.com.
War vet slaughters 12 at the borderline bar who reportedly had PTSD.
Oh, shit. Is he going to deny this?
I saw the horrible footage. When I got up this morning, I thought, man, those people are all in really good shape. Their shirts are all off. They've all got Marine Corps tattoos on their chest and things. And it was basically a Marine Corps hangout bar. And I guess somebody dissed this guy or something. And look, they started doing the instinctive killing training in by the 60s. And when people go haywire with that training, it kills the inhibition. And our hearts go out to everybody. But
wait, I'm unclear what he's trying to, how that relates to anything, or is he just listing things he's going to talk about, or like is he just throwing events out there, and then has InfoWars become a build your own conspiracy show? Like, what did it happen, or is it a false flag? Would you care to elaborate?
This story itself, compared to Antifa activating the terror cells and the shadow government army activating, is the big news. We could just be hours away from paramilitary hits across the country.
Wait, is he saying this? You know what? Who cares?
So, ladies and gentlemen, get your firearms out and ready to defend yourself.
Oh, my God.
This is a total 100% maximum alert for the Republic.
Okay, I think we get the point, Alex. You know, the reason why I just want to say this before I end. The reason why people like Alex Jones and others on the far right are so scared of I'm not talking about Antifa, but just people mobilizing on the left, you know, these protests against the firing of Jeff Sessions, the Women's March and things like this, is because on the right, you know, they did this. They did this 10 years ago with the Tea Party movement, but that was, you know, peanuts compared to the kind of anger that you're seeing now with left-wing groups that, you know, yes, are have a level of coordination and have a sort of a collective plan for their resistance, their peaceful resistance, their peaceful protest. And, you know, because everything on the right is always astroturfed and funded by a bunch of evil billionaires, they project and assume that that's what's going on the left. But they should be more afraid than they are, because it's actually a grassroots movement. The reason why there are protests in 900 cities is because people are angry and they're going into the streets to show that they're angry. Again, peacefully for the most part, which is as it should be. But people like Alex Jones they can't understand that, and they assume that it's some kind of top-down takeover, because if it happened on the right, that's what it would be. That's what it has been in the past. Everything on the right is astroturfed, whereas there are real, genuine mass protests on the left. And Alex can't quite wrap his head around that, and I think that that's a scary sensation for him. Now, who wants to buy some fucking iodine pills, huh?